Welcome to another video. In this episode, what are things parents should never say to their children? Never tell a child that the divorce is their fault. I don't remember that. That never happened. When a kid brings up a past trauma. Having you ruined my life is the worst I ever heard. Your opinion doesn't matter. That one still haunts me and is the reason I never speak up. Threaten to send them to live in foster care if they don't do what the parent wants. My mother used to use that threat if she saw me picking my nose. I didn't realize how fucked up that was until I was an adult. Until you start paying bills, you have no rights. So you're damn right I'm coming into your room whenever I feel like it, and I can take anything I want from it too, because it's actually mine. You're too stupid and lazy to be able to make in the real world. And if someone ever did hire you, they'd fire you as soon as they realized what a mistake they'd made. You have no idea how much you cost me. I could do X, Y, or Z thing if I didn't always have to pay for your crap. We are free thinkers in this house. Rage is when I express a thought/opinion that's different than this. You're just a kid. What do you have to be depressed about? / you have nothing to be depressed about. After I told a doctor how I was actually feeling. You can't be that stressed. You're just a kid. Are you trying to make me look like a bad parent? Yes, I'm in therapy now. My dad antagonizing me purposely and then saying, "Don't be SOSNCT vet" when I get upset about the shite he says. Moms, stop criticizing your body in front of your daughters. Comparing them to others, talking about their weight, focusing on the negatives or their wrongdoings, constantly dismissing them, unwilling to hear their opinions, because I'm right you're wrong mentality. There's so much. I gave birth to you when they want something out of their kid. Anything really that influences their self-esteem. Very harmful to how they see themselves into adulthood. You can come down on a child without resorting to calling them worthless, stupid, etc. Parents should never compare their kids to other kids. Taking frantic notes is a new-ish dad who doesn't want to fuck up his son. Her first words after I called my mom when my 25 husband, 24, tragically died. "Don't think you're going to live with me. I had 2 infants. Yeah, she was a malignant narcissist pedophile." Edit. I did not move in with her. I did not live with her. My children were not around her. And how do you think I know she is what she is? SMH. This thread feels more like a checklist. Making a big deal when they are shy/quiet and come out to socialize. Why can't you be more like? I should have aborted you, and why do you always disappoint me? Can't you be normal? Truly fucked with me. When I was 14, I used whatever money I had on me to buy an orange/grey beanie hat from the Nike store we were at. When we got back into the vehicle and I put it on, my dad looked in the rearview mirror and said, "You look stupid in that." He wasn't joking either. It was pure maliciousness. Even my stepmom looked at him and gave him the death glare like, "WTF is wrong with you?" It's almost 25 years later and I still remember that. Still stings. So yeah, parents, don't tell your kids that they look stupid based on an article of clothing that they wanted and purchased with their own money. Kids can handle insults from their peers just fine, but from their parents, God, that shit hurts. Stop crying, or I'll give you a reason to cry. Your method of consoling your child is to threaten them with violence until they shut up. Never put your children down. The parents made the choice to have kids. The kids didn't ask to be born into the family. If you're going to cry, go to your room. I used to get that one a lot as a kid and I don't know why, but that one stung the most. Divorced parents, you're just like your father or mother. Well, kid is bound to take after both, not just you. Strip your child and tell them, look at all that fat. I was never that fat when I was your age. Shout, you're not depressed, I'm depressed. When your child gets the courage to tell you how they feel, call them useless, weak, pathetic, and tell them, I wash my hands of you because you won't live up to expectations. Tell them their father never wanted kids. Say you are depressed and drinking because of them. Edit. Added more because mom was crazy. My dad told me when I was 6 to 7 that my birth is the reason he cheated on my mom. So I'm gonna go with that. You know absolutely nothing. You're just a kid. I wish you'd commit suicide. My dad. We just want you to, like hockey, be normal. We don't want you to be gay. I wish you'd never been born. My mom once told me I was the 4th most important thing in her life, after God, her marriage, and then my dad. Lol, now I never stop ranking myself against other people. That's not something to ever tell your kid. Before I got a colonoscopy, my mom told me, don't worry, I'm sure you don't have cancer, because if you had cancer you wouldn't be so fat. So, yeah, don't say that to your kid. If you keep doing this, nobody is gonna love you. Stop being such a disappointment. We suffer and do all this because of you. If you don't do this, we won't like you anymore. Why are you always so difficult? We could travel more if we weren't supporting you. Why can't you be more like that child? We will throw you in the garbage if you keep acting like that. We picked you up from the garbage. We will call the police and they will take you to do manual labor if you don't stop crying. Growing up as a girl, my mother always made a big issue about me cleaning my room and the surroundings around me. One time when she got really angry, she said, when you move out and I come to visit you, I'm sure worms are gonna come to welcome me because you are so dirty. Fast forward a few years, and I'm always frantically cleaning whenever she comes over, and she still finds something that needs to be cleaned. The windows need to be washed. The top of the cabinets needs cleaning. Luckily my father shuts her down because he can see that everything is cleaned. But it feels really shitty when your mom thinks you are dirty, even though you try everything to keep things clean. Bad-mouthing the other parent to you behind their back usually happens when they are divorced or otherwise no longer together. My father had this weird idea for some reason that my mum was constantly bad-mouthing him to me and my brother and was using us as a piggy in the middle to get back at him, when that was never actually the case. But I think it's just projection, because that's exactly what he would be doing if we were living with him growing up instead of our mother. You look hot in that. I should have put you in a sack and threw you in a lake when you were born. Mom used to say that quite a lot when we were kids. You're just like the other parent. Really messes with the kid's view of your relationship. Why is being like someone you presumably love more than anyone else an insult? Do you not love the other parent as much as you have said? If you don't love the other parent as much as I thought, and I'm just like them, then you must not love me as much as I thought. It leaves the kid with a lot of doubts and destroys the sense of stability they have. We do everything for you, spend a lot of money, and for what? You're useless. You aren't able to be profitable. Just disappear. The world doesn't need in such people. And then they ask me why I can't spend a couple of dollars. This thread is eye-opening, both in the fact that my mom said lots of things that she shouldn't, but on the other hand it's a list of lots of things I've never said or even thought about my child. As hurt as I'm to read all of the things you've all had to hear from the people who are supposed to love you most, I'm going away from this feeling like maybe I'm doing a pretty okay job, or at least not a bad one. For any of you who had horrible mothers, I'm your mother now. I made dinner and the house is a comfortable temperature. You can come in for some tea or coffee or a beer. If you're old enough, you won't find ugly things said to you here. Would you rather go with me or your father? Putting decisions like that on kids is cruel. Anything that implies that they aren't good enough. No quicker way to damage a child than to make them feel worthless. Don't be like your brother. You'll understand when you're older. I'm now 35, and looking back, this one saying caused me to rush through my life, wasting much of my youth, because I felt I needed to mature as quickly as possible in order to stand on equal footing with my parents. It took many years to realize that I never cold rushed it anyway, as maturity cannot be rushed. It must be cultivated. So all I achieved was passing up on a lot of fun and formative things as a teenager, trying to become old enough to understand. There's also the parallel saying, but you're too young to feel. One's age has nothing to do with fatigue, frustration, anxiety, anything. I'm 35 now, and just as tired now as I was at 18. Apparently I'm just tired. If you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing for more content.